Rubber expansion joints like this are a fairly common trouble spot. These probably made by John. Well, I won't mention any manufacturers' names, but they come manufactured where you've got this piece of EPDM that is attached at the factory to the two pieces of flashing, and then it sits on a curb. And that's usually pretty substantial, pretty robust and long-lived. If you have a lot of moving on either side of it, it can pull out from where it's crimped into the metal. That can be a problem. That's not really the expansion joint's fault. That's kind of because it's trying to do its job. It's the building settling that it just can't take that much movement. But when they do have problems, it's typically at the joints, because what you get from the factory, sometimes it can be on a roll, sometimes it's 10-foot sticks, but in any case, you're going to have to connect two pieces together somehow. So the way that it's done is it's just a butt joint, and then this is a piece of EPDM tape over top. And the EPDM tape, whether it's cured or uncured, it's still not going to last as long as regular EPDM. That's just the nature of how it's made. So this one, I don't think we've worked on much at all. I mean, it goes on like anything EPDM. It gets cemented down or bonded down, rolled in, and then there's lap seal on the edges. So the two very typical ways that it will fail: it will come loose here where the rubber meets the metal. In fact, yeah, that one, I can get that open. Because you've got essentially a T-joint, only worse because it's different materials. So it's really, really hard to get that little junction completely sealed. So that's one way that they fail over time. The other way is the tape itself just breaks down. I don't know if you can see, but there are little cracks starting to form at the ends of the expansion joint itself. I have no idea if that's showing up on camera, but there's a little crack there and a little crack right there. And that's a pretty common failure in older expansion joints. To fix it, I mean, ideally, even though it doesn't last as long as the regular EPDM tape is a good product. It would be nice to just slap a wider, a 12-inch section over top of all of this, encapsulate all that junk, get you a good bond around the outside, and you'd be good to go. We don't do that because it's really, really hard to roll against the soft material. I mean, that's part of why you can't get a good joint or a good seal in here anyway. Because EPDM tape, you've got to roll it in. You've got to get some force to make it stick, and it's hard to roll against this. And of course, it's old and chalky. So typically, what we'll do, and what I'm going to do today, smear a little bit of caulk on there as a temporary fix there and there. I've still got some of that dowel open from the skylight. I'll probably use that. And then we go over the whole thing with GacoPatch, because it's rubber compatible. It seems to last a long time, and we go out, make sure we get into some nice clean substrate and just encapsulate the whole works. And because the GacoPatch is brush applied, you don't have to worry about rolling in, and it'll follow any of the contours. You can work it into the little nooks and crannies like you need to. The problem is, of course, GacoPatch is silicone, so once you go silicone, you can't go back. If you have to work on it again, you're limited to only using silicone products. But it holds up pretty well. I don't know that we've had to come back to redo any of the ones that we've Gacoed over. Here's one against the wall that's been Gacoed over. It's not exactly pretty, but I mean, the Gaco's got plenty of give to it, and it sticks nicely. So it's not a cheap product, but ease of installation goes a long way, and we use a lot of it. Here's one that we temped in with caulk the other week. It was coming open here, and caulk still got a little tack to it. It had definitely let go in there. So this will be on the list next time we're here with a bucket of black Gaco. We'll just go over the whole thing, and it should be good to go. The other thing that gets a little tricky with some of these expansions is that little joint right there where you've got the metal and everything coming together. That'll trap water. So that's kind of part of why they fail sometimes there, because it holds water. It never dries completely, which does degrade the butyl part of well, I guess it's not completely butyl, but the sticky side of the EPDM tape. But then when we go over it with the GacoPatch, the silicone shouldn't care about standing water. One thing that's important when it comes to working on these EPDM expansion joints, you really should not be using any asphalt-based sealer, mastic, whatever you want to call it, because the asphalt will damage the rubber. Now, I've encountered a lot of asphalt cement, and this, which I'm pretty sure is Karnak 229 AR elastomeric trowel type, which is rubber-ish, but it also is asphalt-based. And I've run into a lot of it on expansion joints and portable roofs, the portable classrooms that have EPDM roofs. And it's just you're not supposed to use asphalt-based products on EPDM. Now the field rubber, like the joint itself or the roof, the whole roof, seems to tolerate it okay. It is the tapes, the flashings and the tape, which is it's a different type of rubber. It's manufactured differently so that it can be more flexible, and it has to have the adhesive properties, and it just is not as robust. And it seems like, at least from what I've seen, and I'm not a scientist, I can't say for sure, but when there's asphalt products, asphalt cement on it, it seems to attack the adhesive side of the tape, and it just weakens it. It makes it gummy, and it makes it deteriorate. So on portable roofs where we find the inappropriately applied asphalt, you can usually scrape it and peel it up off of the field membrane, but it's kind of almost emulsified all the flashings, so it's a little harder getting that off. But anyway, so another problem that you can see happening here, because the asphalt products don't have much elasticity. If you have a crack because things are moving, well, you're putting something not movable on top. That crack is just going to telegraph through. And so we have, I don't know if we have them anymore. I have encountered and gotten rid of expansion joints with just these mountains of layer after layer of the wrong product, and it just continues to crack, and so more gets piled on. So no asphaltic products. This, I don't want to try to peel it up, because that's going to probably do more harm than good. So we'll just encapsulate the whole thing with GacoPatch, like this, and there, and there, and there. And so far, the GacoPatch has been doing a really great job, and it's fairly easy to apply. So next time we're up here doing PM, we'll work on that first one I showed you, and hopefully I'll remember to make sure the guys do this one too.